and it wasn't always like that. I think in my 20s and 30s, I tended to put my work, it's the number one most important thing that I associated myself with identity wise. And as I've kind of gone through the overwhelming stress that work can take in your mental voices that you're always thinking and can't unplug. And I've been able to kind of switch my priorities. And luckily, my wife's always been, she grew up here in the mountains. She's went to college for collegiate Nordic ski racing. And so she's always committed to getting out every day for an hour, getting her head straight, enjoying nature. So it's taken me, I grew up in San Francisco and so didn't really have that opportunity. And so my mind shift in the last probably 15 years has been, okay, one, we only really have our health and, our ability to balance that, the physical and the mental.
Hi there, you are listening to A Founder's Life, and I'm your host, Leo Gestetner. My guests and myself share our entrepreneurial journey and our methods for a balanced life. I'm joined here today by Lee Roquet. Lee, thank you for joining us today. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Leo. Yeah, pleasure to be here. Always great to share your story. Yeah, so 25 years kind of in the software space work-wise, but my main focus is being a great dad. I've got a 25-year-old son. My wife and I live in a great little ski town up in Ketchum, Idaho, and been fortunate enough to been able to live in the mountains and have a balance of tech life, but also just make sure I can support my family in fun ways outdoors. So yeah, pleasure to be here.
Thank you. I love that. I think last time we talked, you were you need to de-stress, so you hit the ski slopes.
Yeah, no, definitely take advantage of all the seasons. We did just actually have the FIS World Cup here last week. So that was amazing to see world-class skiers on the mountain. Just amazing. So yeah, but every time I need to de-stress or recharge the battery, I'm on my bike or hiking or outdoor skiing or Nordic skiing or something outdoors. So been very fortunate to live here.
And so talk us about your work journey. So really sort of where it's taken you up to today and the kind of things you're doing today.
Yeah, no, great to share. Yeah, like I said, I've came to the mountains as out of college as a ski bum. Just wanted to enjoy, skiing for a year before I decided what I seriously wanted to do, and fell in love with the mountains. Never thought I'd live here full time. So back then it was not much options. So I was doing went from bartending to waiting tables to I actually ended up starting a coffee roasting delivery service with a partner of mine who owned a coffee roaster. And so grew the business and started doing just direct sales. And then, that got a little bit less exciting. So it just happened to be right around the time where a lot of the tech companies were trying to find better balance of life. And so got fortunate to have a tech company land in our local town and ended up being employee number 20 when they relocated and ended up having a really great career in the media software space. And so, ended up there for about 14 years and was able to have some great bosses, lots of learning. We did with a lot of acquisitions, so integrating multiple companies into a single unit, which was really fun to do. And then I've kind of been in the media software space for a few years, jumped around to a couple other companies, and then had a great opportunity to be employee number one at a truck bed storage company called DECT, and was able to, be part of that whole founder startup, thing in room together, building a product and the infrastructure, the systems. That company's doing incredibly well today, so I'm super proud of that. And then was able to move back into software as the chief customer officer for a BI company. Got the same kind of story, employee number 30, and the company was based in Melbourne, Australia, and we grew to EMEA and the US, and it had a great 8-year run, and then sold that. And then the last 2 years, I've been CEO of a marketing, performance marketing company, as well as a software company. So I took over as the PE firm was trying to restructure the company and turning around the company and building a team and kind of get the company going in a more positive direction. And that was a really, really great 2 years. And just recently I stepped away from that role and now looking for my kind of next adventure. So
Oh, always sounds like there's quite some journey you've had, and
a little bit of everything.
ready for the next adventure. And whilst you're waiting for that, at least there's still some good skiing left. How much
Yes.
longer of skiing have you got before?
We've got yeah, 2 more weeks until the mountains close. So yeah, just been enjoying. I usually hike up in the mornings, get up at 5:30 and hike the 3,000 vertical feet and get a early run in as the sun comes up. So trying to do a few more of those before the mountain closes, and then we'll transition into yeah the muddy season and then in bike season. So yeah, really excited about that.
On. And tell me about family. So you've got a 25-year-old son, I believe?
I do. I have a yeah, one son, and my wife and I have been married for 28 years, 29 this year. So that's been fantastic just to have a partner in crime. And yeah, so my son he graduated college 2 years ago and has moved back into town. And thank God I have a apartment above my garage because he moved back in. He rents the apartment, but he works at the family business. So my wife's been a coffee roaster for 16 years, and so she has a coffee roasting company and up in Ketchum, and he works there as graphic design and roasting and helping around the family business. So it's been really nice.
What's your role in the family business?
My title is VP of Customer Maintenance. So I'm there to help out when everything breaks, as well as I do sometimes get behind the bar, but mostly it's just support my amazing wife in her journey and make sure that yeah everything's working.
Nice. And talk about health. So obviously health is key to you. You've got some ideas around the physical health, but if you look at the different aspects of physical, mental, whether that be exercise, whether it's nutrition, sort of how does health look for you, and how do you maintain?
Yeah, I mean, health for me is the number one most important thing. I mean, and it wasn't always like that. I think in my 20s and 30s, I tended to put my work, it's the number one most important thing that I associated myself with identity wise. And as I've kind of gone through the overwhelming stress that work can take in your mental voices that you're always thinking and can't unplug. I've been able to kind of switch my priorities, and luckily my wife's always been, she grew up here in the mountains. She's went to college for collegiate Nordic ski racing, and so she's always committed to getting out every day for an hour, getting her head straight, enjoying nature. So it's taken me, I grew up in San Francisco and so didn't really have that opportunity. And so my mind shift in the last probably 15 years has been, okay, one, we only really have our health and, our ability to balance that, the physical and the mental. So that's kind of my number one thing that I now focus on because I know if I'm in a better place, I'm physically feeling good. One, I can do more fun things on the weekends and adventures and travel, but also I can, show up and be present for my family and myself. So for me, I commit to, I used to be really addicted to Strava. I grew up, when I first moved here, I got really into bike racing, Nordic racing, all sorts of racing, because I had never done that kind of stuff before growing up in San Francisco. It's more team sports. And so been able to kind of let the Strava thing go. But for me, I really try every year to get 400 hours of outdoor exercise and try to have 400 activities that I'm doing, whether that's yoga, like today I did a 30-minute yoga, and then I'm going to go ride my bike, get all bundled up in the 40-degree weather and go ride my bike. And then, this weekend we'll probably Nordic ski or go alpine skiing. So uh, physical, mental balance has become the most important thing for me because I know how important it is for as I get into the second half of my life to be able to enjoy it. So
I think, I do still use Strava. I'm not as good
I
at
do.
ignoring
I
it.
track everything with Strava,
I
but
mean, to be fair, I don't make everything public because no, not everyone cares about, for example, my gym workouts or whatever else that's being
yeah,
synced to it. But
yeah,
yeah, I actually still do use Strava, and yeah, I certainly post my runs and things like that. I think
yeah.
most
Have
of
a small
them,
little
a
group.
bit of fun.
Yeah, that we have fun together. There's 10 of us, and we like to root each other on and stuff. So, but Yeah.
And what do you like to do for fun?
For fun, it's pretty much everything outdoors. I mean, I really really love riding my bike. I tend to try to do a challenge every year of some, and we live in the mountains, so it's gravel riding. Super. I mean, mountain biking's great, but I really like the go off in some direction, try to find a 100-mile loop and ride my bike and just kind of be out in nature. And yeah, I think for me, it's just yeah. I live in such an amazing place. I mean, the joke is that I live people's vacations. And so, I can be outdoors and having just an amazing, thankful experience for an hour every day. And I think that that's for me is what makes me happy. I mean, yeah, just enjoying that, being with my family and friends and being outdoors and enjoying what we have here is kind of what keeps me, I don't know, that's kind of my fun zone.
What has been a pivotal moment in your life, sort of personal business?
Um, Yeah, I think the on the kind of on the work side, it's always of course the changes in things that you can't control, like leaving a company or somebody going out of business or someone selling, and you had your dream job and you're like, damn it, so some of those transitions are always I think the fear and judgment and what to do next settles in, and so yeah, just trying to balance that. Like I'm going through that right now, so that's kind of a pivotal point. And what do I do next? And what makes me happy? And kind of thinking about all of those elements. Um, Kind of the personal side. I mean, it's the I've been really fortunate. Just I've been, I've got a great family. Health has been great. I think um, for me, it's just the appreciation of every day. I really have been very fortunate with, I mean, don't always get along with all of my family members, but that's kind of seems part of the course sometimes. But yeah, I not to say I've, had it easy in the sense of, things that you want, you just work hard and go get. But I've been very fortunate in my life to be in a place where I can find ultimate comfort and joy and excitement about every day that when I open the door to go outside. So I don't know if I have a really good like shocking thing to share there.
Yeah, I think, as you said, you work hard and create your own luck in the end.
Yes, very much so.
And obviously, it sounds like you actually have a pretty balanced life across sort of these different aspects. And like everything, there'll be ups and downs. But how does a balanced life look for you?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think it's keeping myself in a positive. I think it all starts with your mental and physical state. I mean, I've noticed just in the last 6, 7 months, and I kind of link it to I started working with an executive coach at work, being able to really look at some of the things that were maybe my own personal demons holding me back, and so being able to work on that. And I think for me, journaling every day starts with a nice way to just like, how do I want my day to go? And what am I thinking about? And kind of separate the voices of like doubt and fear and, whatever self-worth. And the other side of it, which is giving a lot more energy to the positive things that are right in front of us and acknowledging, some of the things that might be tough. So that balance for me, I think, has really been important this last year. And so I'm in a really nice mental place. And so I think for me, that's like kind of the core is where I start from is how's my mental state today? Can I show up and be the best dad, partner, and bring to what I need to do for work and my colleagues, but in a balance. So I'm really trying to make sure they're in sync because it is really tough. It's, work can be 24/7. You're always tied to your phone and it's hard to shut that down. So keeping the boundaries and making sure that I am showing up for everything in a positive way and not just 90% on one side versus the other. So for me, I think that balance of just making sure I have a good mental state, I'm physically able to go and do and enjoy, and then I'm showing up for the people that matter in my life and that I care about.
Sounds like a good mix of a balanced life.
Yeah,
I think you've
I'm very happy.
you found what's the right secret for you.
Am a very lucky man, and I have balanced. And a lot of it is I've just was fortunate enough to find an amazing partner to help me through my journey and be there, and someone I can lean on and count on, and do the same. And so yeah, that's been a really great part of my happiness.
Well, thank you. And how can
Yeah.
people find you?
Find me on LinkedIn mostly. Yeah, just Lee Roquet on LinkedIn, and that's probably the best. That's probably the best spot. So
And well, thank you. I appreciate you making the time today and sharing this with us.
yeah, my pleasure, Leo. And yeah, wish only the best to you and your listeners. And yeah, look forward to connecting in the future.
Thank you. And thank you for listening to today's episode. If you enjoyed this conversation, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, tell your friends, and leave a review.